What they say, Mia? Drug talking about no limit selling dope.
Good evening, YouTube. This is the ATHEIST KILLA. Say KILLA. Back with a brand new video. Say Daddy is the best. Say I love you. Alright, let's get into this really quickly. Quick. Pretty much everyone is in agreement that prior to the expansion of the singularity in the Big Bang model, the laws of physics, which we currently know and understand to be true, were more than likely vastly different. We know what things are and how they react in our known universe and under our known laws. For example, we know what energy is, we know what matter is, we know what the laws of nature are, etc. Such things are very well defined, but we don't know how things reacted prior to the expansion. The question then becomes, what possibly could have been different about our current known laws prior to the expansion of the singularity in the Big Bang model that would make it so defined things such as energy, forces, matter, etc. could exist without any events occurring? It's my position that there is no change to our current laws or understanding of physics that would make it so events would cease to exist completely. But we will get into that in a minute. I think first I would like to say that there is so much conflicting material online that many people who are unfamiliar with this area of study don't even know what the singularity in the Big Bang model is defined as. I've heard some people say it was just condensed energy. I've heard others say it was a super hot condensed state of energy and matter combined. I've heard people say that the singularity was comprised of energy and forces such as gravity. I've heard it all. And usually when someone makes these claims, they're able to provide links that verify these claims. The problem is that they can't all be right. They're all just hypotheses. And since no one was there to actually witness it, and it's almost impossible to recreate or test it, we can't be 100% certain. However, the most accurate depiction of the singularity in the Big Bang model that I've concluded is that the singularity was actually a super condensed pinpoint of energy and force that was extremely dense and hot. Once the singularity expanded and the universe began to cool down is when matter was created and essentially all the known laws of the universe formed. But of course science doesn't work in absolutes, and this theory can easily be changed as more and more evidence becomes available. But all of that is really of no concern to my initial question, which is, what circumstances / fundamental laws of nature and physics could have possibly been different prior to the expansion in the Big Bang model that would make it so such things such as energy, forces, temperature, etc. could exist without events? Just hypothetically, of course. Try to think up the most random, craziest, wildest, impossible thing that you can dream up that would allow such a thing. It's my position that it's impossible to present any such scenario where events themselves would completely stop. The fact here is that even something as minuscule as a temperature change would be considered an event. And I can think of many, many more. The point here is that time is a measurement of events. So technically the concept of time would be in play if there are any events occurring whatsoever. And there need not be conscious observers to measure it. The event itself has a before and an after attached to it. The same way if a tree falls in a forest and no one is there to witness it, time itself, the concept of time, does not stop. I found this online. Stephen Hawking actually says, this is a quote from Stephen Hawking, "Events before the Big Bang have no observational consequences. One may as well cut them out of the theory and say that time began at the Big Bang. Events before the Big Bang are simply not defined because there's no way one could measure what happened to them." This is almost comical as he tries to almost skim past it as if no one was paying attention. One may as well cut them out of the theory? Certainly not, Mr. Hawking. The first point here is that Mr. Hawking admits there were in fact events happening prior to the Big Bang. So I'd like to thank him for this. Thank you very, very much, because many atheists actually deny this, but it's true. But then when Mr. Hawking says events are not defined and have no consequences, it's not acceptable reasoning to simply throw them out. We must still acknowledge these events. Even if we can't measure what happened to them, something was in fact happening. And even if they are not defined and they have no observational consequences, that doesn't mean they don't exist. And if any events are occurring whatsoever, then, Mr. Hawking, there is time. There's essentially no way for Hawking or any other atheist to rationalize this. Before I end this video and conclude my final thoughts, I just want to point out something to the proponents of the Big Bang model, who always fall back on could-be arguments and the unknown qualities of physics prior to the expansion. You see, when you come up with a model or an idea about how something could possibly work, such as a super-condensed pinpoint of energy creating universes, you have to understand your ingredients and then use that knowledge to build your case, your theory, or your model. Meaning, if you propose energy in a super-condensed state could create a universe, then you can't turn around and say energy may have been different at the moment of creating. Why? Because then you're undermining your own hypothesis without even really realizing it. For example, if I stated lollipops could create universes, and I could prove somehow that this could happen and it was a valid theory, I would be using our current knowledge and understanding of lollipops, how they work, what they're made of, etc. But if I said lollipops used to be different and do different things at the moment of creating, then I would essentially be saying maybe lollipops couldn't create a universe at all, since we don't know anything about them at that moment. We would only know how lollipops, the way we currently understand them, could create a universe. But saying lollipops' qualities are unknown is essentially the same as saying it's unknown if they were capable of such a feat. So you basically killed your own theory. So in the end, the point of this video, again, I ask my audience, what possibly, man, could have been different about our current known laws of physics and nature prior to the expansion of the singularity in the Big Bang model that would make it so defined things, such as energy, forces, matter, etc., could in fact exist in a completely frozen state without any events occurring whatsoever? It's my position that there is no change to our current known laws or understanding of physics that would make it so events could cease to exist completely, and that no one can present an applicable scenario in which this could happen. I look forward to hearing your responses. This is Chatterley, aka Atheist Killer, with a new video. Remember to check out my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. I love y'all. See y'all soon. I'm out of here, man. Peace!